Okay, picture this. Long before the pyramids, even before Stonehenge, there was this mysterious and honestly shockingly advanced civilization thriving right in the heart of Europe. I'm talking about people who built organized towns, they mastered metalworking, and they left behind a code that, well, we still can't crack. So let's dive into the lost world of the Vinča culture and see what secrets they left behind for us.
You know, in school, we're all taught that writing began with the Sumerians in Mesopotamia, right? But what if that's just wrong? The symbols left behind by these Vinča people, they seem to be almost 2,000 years older than the earliest Sumerian writing. And if that's true, I mean, that completely rewrites the history books as we know them.
All right, so who were these people who might have just completely upended our timeline of human history? Where on earth did they come from? To solve this puzzle, we've got to go way back, thousands and thousands of years, to Europe's New Stone Age.
This timeline, wow, it really puts their story into perspective. The Vinča culture wasn't just a flash in the pan. They flourished for over 1,000 years, starting around 5700 BCE. But then, around 4500 BCE, poof, they vanished. And for the next 6,000 years, their entire world was just lost to history, buried, until it was rediscovered almost by accident near Belgrade just over a century ago. Crazy, right?
So, when we think of the Stone Age, what comes to mind? Probably scattered primitive villages, right? Huts and stuff. But the Vinča, they were totally different. They were building something much, much closer to our idea of a city, long before anyone else in Europe was even thinking about it.
Yeah, the term archaeologists use for this is a proto-city. Basically, think of it as a huge leap forward. It's a settlement that has organized planning, a big population, all those urban features, but it's not quite a full-blown city with a, state-level government just yet. And let me tell you, the Vinča were absolute masters of the proto-city.
And this gives you a real sense of just how organized they were. We're not talking about random huts scattered around. No. We're talking about houses built along planned parallel streets. And these weren't just simple shelters. They were sophisticated homes with multiple rooms, and get this, even built-in ovens. That implies a level of social structure and community planning that was, well, it was completely unheard of for that time.
So you might be asking, how do we know all this? Well, the clues are in the incredible artifacts they left behind. These objects, they give us a direct window into their artistic, their technological, and their intellectual world. It's like they left a trail for us to follow.
And we can really trace their genius back to 3 key areas. Let's call them the 3 main clues: their art, their technology, and of course, that mysterious code.
Okay, clue number 1, their art. Archaeologists have found thousands of these, well, strange and beautiful terracotta figurines. Nobody's exactly sure what they were for, but their most distinct feature is those huge almond-shaped eyes. They give them this almost otherworldly look. So were they gods? Ancestors? We can only guess, but they are absolutely captivating.
Next up, clue number 2, their technology. And honestly, this is a huge one. The Vinča were true pioneers. They figured out how to smelt copper ore to create metal tools and artifacts. Now think about this. While most of Europe was still deep in the Stone Age, chipping away at rocks, the Vinča were already taking the first steps into the Copper Age. That's a massive leap.
And that brings us to clue number 3, and back to that central mystery, the code. Are these symbols found carved into pottery and these little tablets, are they a true written language, or are they just, religious symbols or ownership marks? The debate is still raging among experts, but if it is writing, it means European history started much, much earlier than we ever imagined.
Which brings us to the final and maybe the most haunting question of all. If they were so advanced, building these proto-cities, mastering metallurgy, possibly even inventing writing, where did they go? Because around 4500 BCE, their entire vibrant culture just vanishes from the archaeological record. It's like they were erased.
Well, investigators, in this case archaeologists, have 3 main theories on the table. First, maybe they were overrun by invaders, nomadic tribes from the east. Second, maybe it was the environment. They could have exhausted the soil and their farms failed due to climate change. And a third possibility is that their own success was their downfall. Maybe their settlements just grew too big, leading to internal conflicts and a total social breakdown. The truth is, any one of these could be the answer. For now, their disappearance remains a complete mystery.
But here's the thing. Even though they disappeared, the Vinča didn't just fade into nothing. Their legacy endures, It's in the amazing artifacts they left behind, and in the tantalizing questions that still surround them to this day.
This quote really just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? The Vinča culture was literally thousands of years ahead of its time. And what's so exciting is that this isn't a closed case, not at all. Archaeologists are still out there digging, and every new discovery adds another piece to this incredible prehistoric puzzle.
So, if we were to look at the case file, let's say 3 key pieces of evidence really stand out. You've got the Tartaria tablets, which hold that mysterious script. You have the iconic Lady of Vinča figurine, an absolute masterpiece of their art. And of course, their copper tools, the hard proof that they were true technological pioneers.
And today, their importance is finally being recognized on a global scale. The main archaeological site, a place called Vinča Beliberdo, is now on the path to becoming a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And that's fantastic, because it will help ensure that the story of Europe's lost superpower is preserved for generations to come.
You know, the story of the Vinča really proves that there are entire chapters of human history that are still waiting to be read. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other advanced civilizations, what other lost worlds are still buried right under our feet, just waiting to be rediscovered?
Hello, my dear friends! If you enjoyed today's adventures, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to receive all the fun and exciting new stuff.